So I was having a conversation with a client today, and they asked me if I could provide just one insight into how to improve their health. What would it be? So the title of this video is a little catchy, it's a little silly, but it's, the one secret to improving your health. And to be honest, there isn't one secret, right? There's not one thing I can tell you that's going to work universally across the board for every single person that I interact with, right? So if I want to try to drill down the thing that would be the most applicable, the most useful, the most direct causal effect, right, to improving your health, I would say that you have to have a very serious conversation with yourself about what your biggest weakness is. And I don't mean weakness in the insulting way, like you're weak, you can't do this, that kind of thing, but kind of what your number one critical failure, and I'm going to use some of the harsher language, to get healthy is, right? What is the one thing in your life that's your biggest limiting factor towards improving your health? So to keep things kind of simple, and I will talk about some of these individually in a future video, but I kind of narrowed it down to 5 things, right? So as I'm saying this, think about, which one of these 5 might be yours, and I'm going to say 98% of the time, it's one of these 5 that is the limiter for people getting healthier, right? So you've got dessert, junk food, I kind of lump those in together. You could say sugar, right? Put that in there. Sleep, not sleeping enough, lack of sleep, sleeping too much, rare, but part of that too. Alcohol, obviously a big factor. Your 1 drink a week, it's not going to be your problem. But if you're drinking a lot, you're drinking every night, you're drinking a lot on the weekends, right? Then that's going to be one of your big limiting factors to your health. Movement, not doing enough in this case, right? Increasing your movement, and then eating out. So again, all of these things, your once in a while thing, that's not the problem. But if you really analyze your life, analyze your weaknesses, analyze the things you're thinking about, one of these 5 things is probably your sticking point and is probably the one thing you need to direct your attention towards improving. So how I would approach that, and when I do these videos, like people that know me know that I'm a bit of a weirdo, right? I'm sort of an extremist. I'm a very binary thinker. So for example, if alcohol was my biggest weakness on a personal level, and that's impacting my health, and right now my health is my priority. Again, it's whatever your priority is, right? If my priority is to get drunk, then alcohol is going to be the number one thing to help me get there, right? But my priority is to get healthy. So if alcohol is my biggest limiting factor, then I would just say done, right? I probably would never do it again. And that would be the end of it. Okay, understandably, most people aren't going to be able to do that, aren't going to be able to just make that quick cut sacrifice. But that is how my brain works, and that's what helps me. So if you think about those, again, dessert, junk food, sugar, we'll put it in there, alcohol, sleep, movement, and eating out. Those are your 5. So think about those 5 and think about what you could do to improve each one of those. So it might be initially tackle the one that's easiest. And if you're lucky and you're already a decently healthy person, then maybe it's just one of those 5. But for some of you, it might be all 5 of those 5, right? Which I'm not here to judge you. You are where you are, and you're trying to get better, right? That's why you're here. That's why you're listening to this. So I want to help you get there. So you need to pick, in my opinion, which one of those 5s would be the easiest to take action on and improve, right? Because it's all about building that momentum and getting that ball rolling downhill and making progress so you're rewarded and you want to continue to make progress. And it's kind of that self-fulfilling cycle of getting improvement and wanting more improvement, right? So I would pick one of those 5 and figure out which one would be the easiest for you to implement changes on and get improvement on. And that doesn't mean you have to take my binary approach and cut it out entirely, right? Like dessert, junk food. If you just absolutely, I'm going to make up some examples, you just absolutely love Twizzlers, right? And I know Twizzlers isn't the greatest candy, but if you just absolutely love that and the idea of never having that again, or at least never having that again until you get your health at a level that you're comfortable with, right? It's not sacrifice forever, but it's sacrifice until you achieve the goal that you want to get to. Maybe it's 1 Twizzler a week, or it's 2 Twizzlers a week, right? If it's alcohol, and it's more of in most cases, it's more of a social thing, or it's more of a social lubricant or stress relief, right? I would advise you to try to find something else you could do with that. But regardless, maybe if you're going out 3 times a week and you're having a couple drinks with friends, and that's impacting your health, it's also obviously going to impact your sleep and impact some decision making and other things. Like maybe you cut it back to 2 nights a week, right? And then maybe 2 months from now, you've kind of gotten used to that and you're like, oh man, I do feel better. I'm not going out as much. I'm not drinking as much. My body's definitely operating better. Then you scale it down to 1 night a week, right? So try to pick which one of those 5 you can take the most immediate action on, and it might be the easiest for you to make progress on, and go ahead and attack that one thing.